And this does too. You heard it right here, live on Fox 8 News in the morning, a little over an hour ago. We have the list of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame rockers who are ready to be enshrined. But we need your help now to kind of narrow down the list and see who the official nominees are.
Yeah, because you can help participate. Andy Leach from the Rock Hall, Senior Director of Museum and Archival Collections. Welcome again. Good to see you.
Great to see you guys.
What a great day.
Amazing. It's always such a fun time when this happens.
Oh, it really is. All right, so let's talk about the list. We shared that with our viewers. We're going to show some video too. It is a wonderful list. I mean, every year you're going to have people say, this person should be on, this person. You really have a lot of good ones on there. Yeah. We've got the list here.
It is. It's a great, diverse list. It's diverse in terms of gender and race and just stylistically as well. Just amazing.
Sure.
And that's a little bit of what Greg had talked about earlier this week, and kind of opening it up to not necessarily the traditional rock. You know, we've seen that in the past couple of years, but really kind of opening the floodgates for all kinds of artists to get in.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it illustrates that rock and roll has always been a bunch of different things. You know, even from the 50s on, and of course it's ever changing and evolving, and it's inclusive. It always has been.
Talk about who comes up with this list. Over 1,000 people. But where do you even begin?
So the nominating committee meets in New York every year, and that's maybe 30 or 40 folks who gather and kind of create the ballot, and then about 1,000.
See who's eligible.
Exactly,
that kind of
and that you have to have had your first commercial release 25 years ago or before, and then 1,000 or so people vote on the ballot, and we tally up those votes, and sometime, I think it's sometime in May, we will be announcing who those inductees are, and we'll also be announcing the location and date and some other things about the induction ceremony.
Let's break it down, as some people may not be familiar with all the artists. Kate Bush.
Oh, what an innovative, creative artist, and she's been eligible for a long time, and of course she, had a #1 hit just last year with a 1985 hit that she had Running Up That Hill, because it was featured on Stranger Things.
Right. Yeah. Sheryl Crow, she's on the list. Boy, she's just dynamic.
Amazing, just a great singer-songwriter. Yeah.
Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
Yeah, again, great songwriter. She was actually the first female hip-hop artist ever to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So she's newly eligible this year, and yeah, she's well deserving.
Iron Maiden on there, rock and roll.
Maybe my favorite on the list, actually. They've deserved this for a long time. They're the sort of the blueprint for what a metal band should look like and what they should sound like, and just amazing.
Over 40 albums.
Oh man,
career,
great.
Joy Division, New Order.
Yeah, Joy Division was a really influential group that started in 1976 in Manchester, in England, and really kind of had a big influence on new wave and electronic dance music. And then, of course, they reformed as New Order after, sadly, the lead singer Ian Curtis died in 1980, and became New Order, and then became a cultural phenomenon in the 80s.
Monday and all that,
yeah.
Cyndi Lauper. Wow.
She's so unusual. Her really debut album she's so unusual, and had 4 big hits, and she's just an incredibly creative and eclectic songwriter, and paved the way for a lot of women in rock.
George Michael.
Again, great songwriter, amazing producer, great vocalist, who just had a big impact on a lot of pop stars who came after him. It was a big cultural phenomenon in the 80s too.
Oh gosh, yeah, he really was. Willie Nelson on the list. I love this. 89 years young, still.
Right.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he also apparently has 98 studio albums or albums that he's released over the years. Just an American treasure.
Has a 2-day music festival coming up for his birthday too.
Really?
Yeah, with a bunch of different artists. But yeah, he's big impact.
Rage Against the Machine.
Well, their name kind of says it all. Just a very political, aggressive band that stands up against oppression, and they're they've had a big influence on a lot of things, but they really kind of brought rap rock and that whole thing kind of to the forefront in the 90s. Great band. They've been on the ballot a lot of times, actually.
Soundgarden's on the list?
Yeah, they sort of got that whole Seattle scene that we know of, with Nirvana and Pearl Jam started. They were the first of those bands to have a major label release.
The Spinners have been on there forever.
Oh, man.
Eligible forever.
What a great band. Vocal, lush harmonies, soulful, part of that Philly sound in the 70s, great songs.
Tell us about A Tribe Called Quest. A lot of people maybe not familiar with them.
Yeah, just a really influential hip-hop group who started in the early 90s. They've been on the ballot before. They kind of started this sort of jazz rap hybrid in the early 90s. They kind of veered away from some of those harder hitting James Brown and funkadelic kind of samples and went toward the jazz and just really socially conscious lyrics, and amazing group.
Very artistic.
Totally,
White Stripes. We heard them a little bit ago.
They're probably the youngest
on
the list. They were their first official recordings were in 1998, and they they really brought that minimalist punk and garage rock back, in the early 2000s, and just what a great group. They had such great records in the 2000s.
Also on the list, Warren Zevon.
Well, also one of my favorites. Yeah. Absolutely, he should have been inducted, or at least nominated over 25 years ago.
Wow.
Amazing singer-songwriter who probably is if you think of your favorite singer-songwriter, he's probably one of their favorite singer-songwriters. His debut album in 1976 was produced by Jackson Brown, one of his friends, and I think Linda Ronstadt covered about 4 of those songs. Everyone just has loved him. He's such a great artist.
Let's talk about the fan vote. I know people want to get involved as they go to the Rock Hall and help out.
Yeah, so the fan vote starts today, and all the way through April 28th, you can vote once a day if you'd like to for the artists you think should be inducted, and that will get tallied up into a fan vote, a fan ballot that then gets tallied up along with the other ballots.
That's wonderful. And then you have a big announcement in May, a couple of announcements that you're going to probably clump into one. So we're all sitting at the edge of our seats waiting for not just the official list of the nominees who will be inducted, but where the induction will be taking place. Everyone's praying it's going to be back in Cleveland.
Yeah. Exactly, right. So we'll announce, like you said, the list of inductees, but also the date, location of the induction ceremony, and ticket information too, so stay tuned for that.
That's going to be amazing. I mean, any of these artists, my goodness, right?
Yeah, what a concert.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Andy, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
All right, good to see you.
Tell
We'll see you in
Mr.
May.
Harris we said hello.
We will. I will.
Big day for you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.